You are 25. Rent takes a third of your paycheck. The rest goes on a card you pay off just before the interest hits. Dinner's out, a flight to a wedding, a jacket you didn't need but liked in the window. Today, for no dramatic reason, you open an account and set up an automatic transfer, $487 a month. It doesn't feel like enough. It feels almost insulting, a rounding error against the life you imagine for yourself. You do it anyway, mostly because someone said the number matters less than the year you start. This is the only decision in this story that actually matters. Everything after this is just time doing what time does. For the first year, the balance is smaller than the security deposit on your apartment. You don't tell anyone about it. There's nothing to show, and showing isn't the point. By 27, the market drops. Not a crash, a slow, ugly slide. Your account, 2 years in the making, loses 11% in 6 weeks. You check it once, standing in a grocery store parking lot, and put your phone away without finishing the thought. This is the first real test, and it has nothing to do with money. It's a test of whether $487 a month is a plan or a mistake. You don't sell. The transfer goes out again into an account worth less than what you put into it. You don't know this yet, but that transfer, made while everything is down, will end up being one of the most valuable of the entire 40 years. At the time, it just feels like feeding a hole. By 28, the balance recovers past where it started. You didn't do anything to make that happen. You just didn't stop. At 30, the balance crosses $40,000. You've moved in with someone by now, and the two of you split rent, which is the first time the $487 stops feeling like it's coming out of thin air and starts feeling like a real line item you both notice. That same month, a friend from college texts a photo from a car dealership, a new lease, black interior, the kind of thing that looks good in a driveway. You do rough math on what a lease like that would run you a month. It's close enough to $487 that the comparison sticks with you for a week. You don't take the lease. You raise your contribution by $50 instead and keep driving the car you already have, the one with a crack in the windshield you've been meaning to fix. Nobody sees this decision. There's no photo for it. By 35, 10 years in, the account holds roughly $84,000. You've put in close to $58,000 of your own money, and it's only worth about $26,000 more than that. You sit at the kitchen table one night, laptop open, running the number forward, and it doesn't work the way you thought it would. The growth part, the part people talk about, is barely showing up. You start to wonder if this only works for people who already have money. This is where most people quietly stop, not with a decision, but a missed transfer, redirected towards something with a return you can see this year. You don't stop, not from confidence, you don't have any yet, but because nothing has actually gone wrong. The number isn't shrinking, it's just growing at a pace too slow to look like growth. By 40, 15 years in, the account is around $155,000 against $87,000 you put in yourself. This is the flattest stretch of the whole 40 years. Your daughter is 6 now and starts asking, the way 6-year-olds do, whether you're rich. You laugh it off, but that night you open a separate account in her name and move the conversation from a joke to a decision. How much of the $487 should split off towards something she can watch grow herself, instead of a number in your name that won't matter to her for 20 more years? You do the math both ways, full $487 staying put versus splitting it. Splitting it costs you close to $90,000 by the time you're 65. You decide it's worth it anyway. Open her account with $60 carved out of yours and leave the rest exactly where it's been for 15 years. At 43, the discomfort takes a different shape than it did at 35. It's not doubt about whether the math works anymore. It's starting to. It's regret about the years themselves. You find an old bank statement while cleaning out a drawer, dated the year you turned 26, and the balance on it is $6,100. You remember exactly what that number felt like at the time. Nothing. You don't remember what else happened that year. There's no statement for the rest of it.
At 45, 20 years in, the account crosses $253,000. You've contributed about $117,000. For the first time, more than half of what's there is money you never put in yourself. It came from time, from the thing you were told about at 25 and only now believe. The $6,100 year isn't just a curiosity anymore. It's the reason the number in front of you is what it is. Nothing since has mattered as much as that one, smallest year did. By 50, the account is around $370,000. At 52, there's another drop, sharper this time, an 18% slide over 4 months that makes the evening news. Your daughter, now 16, glances at the segment on TV and asks if you're okay. You tell her you're fine. You mean it, though you don't fully believe it until you check the account later and confirm the transfer still went out on the 3rd, same as always. This is the second real test, and it's worse than the one at 27, not because the percentage is bigger, but because the number behind it no longer fits comfortably in your head. You don't sell. The transfer buys shares at a price lower than they've been in years. The same trade you made unknowingly at 27, at a scale you couldn't have imagined then. By 54, the account has recovered past its previous high. It always does if you don't interrupt it. At 55, 30 years in, the account holds close to $594,000 against $175,000 of your own contributions. An ordinary year now adds more than your annual contribution once did. You haven't changed. You've just lived long enough to stand where it becomes visible. At 58, you run the numbers on the version of you who took the lease at 30 instead. Same $487, same market, 5 fewer years of it working. The gap isn't 5 years of contributions, it's close to $200,000. Money that exists now only because it had 5 extra years to sit. Money no amount of catching up later could replace. By 62, the account is around $980,000. You stop increasing contributions. You don't need to. The growth alone now outpaces anything you could add by hand. At 65, 40 years after that first transfer, the account is worth approximately $1.28 million. You put in $233,760 of that, in amounts so small at the start they barely felt like decisions. The rest came from nowhere you can point to. Not a raise, not a bonus, not one dramatic year. It came from the 3rd of every month for 40 years, including the year it was worth $6,100 and felt like nothing. You find that old bank statement again, the one from the drawer, and set it next to your phone with the current balance on the screen. Same account, 40 years apart. It was never nothing. If you enjoy stories that make you think differently about money, time, and the decisions that quietly shape your future, subscribe and join us for the next one.